Nurses are the worst at taking care of their health. We are the absolute worst because we're so focused on everybody else. We're so focused on doing what everybody needs of us that we forget to scale back and do it for ourselves. Peep the hair. So I just got my hair done for London. So we're going to London today, unfortunately. I'm not ready, but we're going. So what we have to do for London now, we still, excuse me, what we have to do for London now, we still have to pack, buy a bag on a flight, which is $70, British Airways. We have to get to the airport, which is all the way in Virginia, and we have to go, I guess. So it's going to be a red eye, which is my favorite because I'm going to sleep the whole way there. Probably don't even notice nothing. And then when I get there, I'm ready to work, ready to run. Other than that, right now we're about to do a couple of errands on my errands list. Just go to the doctor's, get something to eat. So if you guys don't know, I am a nurse, and this is nurse kind of lifestyle, kind of mixed with everything, but specifically nurse content as well. Nurses are the worst at taking care of their health. We are the absolute worst because we're so focused on everybody else. We're so focused on doing what everybody needs of us that we forget to scale back and do it for ourselves. I am guilty myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm always advocating, always doing things, but my own particular health, I don't have any health issues that I know of, knock on wood. It's just, you have to just be more mindful of the fact that any day, any given time, it could change, and you just have to be conscious that it's a revolving door. You have to be on top of everything. You want to catch things sooner than later. So for me, going to the doctors is just to make sure. A couple of things came back a little bit high, but it wasn't like nothing life-threatening or alarming. But it was maybe because I was taking creatine and not drinking enough water, even though I drink a big bottle of water a day. We just kind of like want to double check. So we're getting labs redrawn today, and yeah, keep y'all posted.
I was having this discussion on my TikTok about nurses running away from responsibility, i.e. growing pains, right? And then I found myself eating my words because I just started YouTube, and starting it is hard, it's new, it's different. You don't get the gratification right away. And I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I don't need to do this crap. But I realized that's how a lot of new nurses feel. So if you're a new nurse and you feel like no one's supporting you, helping you, wanting you to win, watch this video. They're making all this noise. Shit. My God, this is annoying. But yeah, so basically if you're a new grad, this video is for you. What you have to do is you gotta push through. And I am eating my words as we speak because I'm in here in front of people recording this dag on YouTube. But tips for your first year as a new grad, outside of just clinical things, give yourself grace. That is the number one thing that you can do to set yourself up for success. Number two, remember it takes time. So it takes time for you to get good. It takes time for you to get proficient. It takes time for you to feel good. You might do all the right things, but it don't feel like it until later, at least a year. So for me, when I was a new nurse, I feel like, story time, I always questioned things I didn't understand, things that didn't make sense. I did what I needed to do, but I realized when it hit. So one day I was at work, and I think all the senior nurses quit at the same time. And two of my patients coded at the same time, or RIT'd, one door away from each other. So I was in one room, my patient was like white as a ghost because he pooped out like 5 liters of blood. And then next door, my other patient was hypotensive. And it was just like back and forth, and I was so overwhelmed. You know, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just visibly looked flustered. So flustered that like the shift coordinator was like, is he new? But I wasn't new. What it was I was used to other people taking care of me and like jumping in, doing everything that I needed to get done instead of me like having to do it on my own because they did it for me. And at that moment, that's when I said, oh shoot, I'm senior because there ain't nobody to lean on. It's just me. And ever since then, I just was like, sorry. But my point is, when you don't know that you're leaning on resources, that you're leaning on like the greater help, that's when you can't rely on yourself. For example, a lot of new people, nurses specifically, are talking about burnout, COVID, different things that like, if you're brand new, it didn't happen yet. You didn't experience that yet. You didn't get to that yet. Now, I'm not saying you can't be burned out, but you didn't experience what we're talking about. So you're leaning onto our experiences to what? Justify whatever you're trying to do. My take on this whole situation is experience it for yourself. It might not be like that for you because what you do is you cheat yourself out of your growth. And that's what I was doing. I was relying on the senior nurses. I was relying on the support, relying on that stuff, which was fine when it was there. But when it wasn't, that's when I realized, damn, I'm struggling. And it's not because I was stupid. It's just because I was so used to being supported, having this stuff. Now, the flip side for me is, especially when it comes to like nursing stuff, is the reality is they want to pay us less and make us work more. So knowing that, this is where the hot takes come in and why people are beefing all over the place, especially with me, is I feel like it's hard work no matter what you do. You ain't going to escape it as long as you a bedside nurse. But you can put yourself in the best possible way to respond to that by one, starting off your new grad year in a place that's going to give you as much experience as you can get. It ain't got to be the best place. It ain't got to be, perfect place. But it should be a place that when you leave here, you have good, solid experience. Then after that, you do what the hell you want to do. But initially, I say, for sure, get a solid 1 year of experience. It's better for your resume. It's better for your skills. It's better for your patience. It's better for your just personal enjoyment and respect for yourself. And then on top of that, you can maneuver everywhere else. I don't think you need to start in med-surg if you're a new grad nurse, but it's another topic. I feel like step down. But anyway, all I'm saying is when you're doing these things and thinking about your pathways as you go, write it down. That's one thing that I wish I would have had a path, because I was just so focused on not following what everybody else was saying. They were saying when I started, NP before 30, that was it. Everything else was just like, that was it. It wasn't really talking about patient care, proven outcomes. None of that crap was talked about. It was NP before 30. And I'm just like, no. So anyway, as I go on this trip, I'm taking y'all along because we're righting some of these wrongs and eating some of our words. But at the same time, it's just like, it's rough. Because starting everything is hard. Doing stuff that you're not comfortable with requires strength. It requires courage. And today was a low moment for me. I was like, this YouTube ain't gonna work. And I was getting all sad, but I was like, what the hell with it. I'm gonna put this camera out even though I'm foaming at the mouth, and I'm gonna record. So anyway, the reason I got the ability to record is because my flight got delayed. So I was supposed to leave at 10:45 or 10:55, whatever it was. Flight now is not gonna leave till 1:35. Potentially, but I live an hour away from this airport, so I drove an hour down to see what happens, because they, how sometimes the airlines, they move the flights all around. If you're not there, you miss it. So I was like, I don't want to do that. That's dumb. So I wound up driving down here, getting that done, and I'm here at the airport. I was in my car chilling, watching movies, but I still could miss the flight, not being at the airport. So now I just found somewhere where there's not that many traffic of people, FYI. But just enough so I can just come here, tell you my thoughts. But I feel like life requires courage. And there's two types of people, and I don't misquote me, but I feel like I read this in the Rich Dad Poor Dad. It was like people who got low key, this is the paraphrase, bend over and take it. And then there's people who fight back. And you just gotta pick who you wanna be. Nursing is tough. The people are interesting. The healthcare environment is toxic. So you have to just come in here with a plan, figure out what you want to do it to the best of your abilities, and move on. Not from healthcare, but move on how you need to move on. And that's one thing that we're going to continue to discuss and, you know, keep going. So like even these trips that I'm showing y'all now, even though I never traveled where it was like my life was in charge. It was like work was in charge. Now I'm circling around and do the opposite. So even being a travel nurse, all that stuff is like for the freedom that I deserve, not for the betterment of the system. It's just a different way of thinking about it for me. But I still show up to work on time for the most part. I still try to give quality care every day that I come to work. And I still try to like have compassion because I feel like that's one of my strong suits. But if it ain't my day, if it ain't my time, if I'm not in it for the money or whatever I gotta do at the moment, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? It's a different vibe. But at the same time, this doesn't suffer because I'm focused on that. And that's what I'm trying to say. So let's get it. Oh, I forgot. So I've never been on a double-decker plane before. I don't know if that's something everybody does. Y'all all do that, but I only been on a singular level plane, mostly in the back, you know, the nurse broke. But today, we're on the top floor. Apparently no one's sitting next to me. And yeah, I'm excited. So I'm actually gonna record it. Probably gonna be foaming at the mouth, but look, you don't get better, it's what you don't do. so we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it, we're gonna record that, we're gonna see what's happening. I brought some Life Water. I got a $9 voucher because my flight was delayed 2.5 hours. So cheers. Oh my God, there was one more thing that I forgot. Finding your secret hidden talent and not letting no one take it from you in nursing. Story time again. So for me, my secret talent is connected with people. Sometimes I be having an attitude just in general, but for whatever reason, anybody I could connect with on something, if I get out of my own way, obviously. But one thing that made me realize that is because when I was a new grad, my very, very first day of orientation, there was a patient cussing everybody. Mother F you. Just yelling and screaming. And of course they gave it to me because earlier that day it was like my last day of orientation and they was like, we need a nurse tonight, we're short. And I was just like, I ain't ready, I need all my days. And it was like, look, Julian, you're ready, you're a good nurse, you're smart, like shut up, basically. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. They was like, what the heck? So basically they was like, well, we'll pay you double time if you come in. And it was like 11 a.m. They was like, just got to come in tonight at 7. So I left my class, I went home, slept, came to work. I was so nervous my first day. I'm like, all right, Lord, come on, we kill somebody. But both my preceptors was there that night. So if I had questions, technically I had support, so I couldn't really complain. So I get to work, the guy's like, F you, wow. I'm just kind of like, oh wow. So I go in the room, and apparently he was a difficult patient, of course. I go in the room, and he has a Bible on his bedside table. And I'm looking like, I know that ain't a Bible on the table now. And he's just like, yeah. It was a coloring book. And I'm just like, you got a Bible and you cussing like that? And he was just like, And I was like, you Christian? And he was just like, looking at me like, what? So I closed the door. And I was just like, I don't know, we ain't doing that. You supposed to be a Christian. You're a terrible representation of what it means to be a Christian. Acting like this, and I laid him out. So fast forward, I said, you know, I'll spend time with you because I'm Christian too, and we'll get through the night. And he was like, okay. So then I would go to my other rooms, do my patient care. I would come back, sit in his room, and I would color. We would color all night. I colored like a page or like this scripture or whatever. It was like the visual representation of the scripture. So like, say if you had Noah's Ark, it was like the animals and stuff. So I remember what picture it was, but I colored it all night with him. in the middle of doing my work. So when I would have downtime, I would chart and like color while I'm charting. And coloring actually is relaxing, so ding ding. By the end of the night, 7 a.m., he was crying. He was like, don't leave me. I was just like, well, I'm getting off. He was like, don't leave me. And from then on, the nurses saw it. I figured it out. They were just like, oh, Julian's good with difficult patients. And I was like, Lord. But, you know, did they overwhelm me with doing it all the time? Yes. But at the same time, was that not the truth? Yeah. Like, I'm good with difficult people when I want to be. I'm good with difficult people. And guess what? When difficult people come to the hospital and I get them, whatever it is, we connect. I leave with a different experience than most people, usually. And that's something that's unique to me. So if you find your unique thing, don't let them abuse it, because that's what they were doing to me. But don't shy away from it. That's something you're good at. Figure out how to use it to your advantage. I unfortunately get that like backhanded, I know you can handle it kind of thing. It's annoying, but as I take it out to regular life, it's like, you know, I can kind of connect with people really when I want to be. Like the cashier lady who's like face all scrunched up. I could easily say, good morning, how you doing? But I don't sometimes. But it's because you forget who you are. And nursing has a way of pulling out of you what's there and replacing it with what works for the system. And the system, anything that works for the system is everything that's against you being an individual. So, rule of thumb, trust your gut, be kind to yourself. It takes time to be an expert, and enjoy the process. Y'all new grads are not enjoying the process. It's hell, it's hard, but there's beauty in it. Your friends might be there, you might be making more money than you ever made. Like, slow down, money will come, trust me. But anyway, let me go check on this flight and I'll bring y'all along real quick. All right, bye. Give yourself grace to fail is one of the most underrated things you can do, especially in nursing. You can do it in life, and that's what we're doing now on this YouTube, that's why I'm talking to y'all. But in nursing, I feel like there's this fake push to be perfect or to have a perfectionist attitude, but it's not real. One, it's a continuous learning profession, and two, it's okay to not know or be perfect. It's not okay to make mistakes because you should access your resources first, but it's okay to not know. So anyway, moving forward with the life update, flight is still delayed. It was delayed 2.5 hours. So now we're walking through the airport. Got some beautiful bags here for all those who are want to partake. I'm in Dallas. Dallas is actually pretty cool. So let's see. So I'm just gonna look just in case is they gonna board early and then your boy don't get a seat. Cause I'm putting hands and feet on somebody if I don't get my seat. But other than that, I feel like, you know, just being reminded that you are who you are for a reason and people need to see it. So welcome. Anyway, I'm excited to see what this ginormous plane looking like. Apparently, double decker. Your boy ain't never been on a double decker, and so we about to test it out. So I hit y'all when I get on the plane. People are getting on. What the heck? It's huge. I had to put my mask on because I'm a real live nurse and don't want to get sick with these people coughing and being nasty in the plane. So I'd rather not get sick. Oh, put my mask on. So this is what we look like. Got my figs, my pips, fix my damn mask. And yeah, hopefully we get on the plane. We'll see. Looks like it. Had to come get y'all the fit. Let me get some light. The light is running. There's figs. Figs here. Figs here. Figs here. Figs. So, I'm taking British Airways going on the upper deck. I'm actually excited. I never rode the upper deck before. Which is crazy. What if the turbulence is worse up there? I don't know. Oh, nervous. You can't see the smile because I have the mask on. Upper deck. So it's like an upper deck. Upper deck, upper deck. Upper deck, upper deck. Let's see. I got my passport, baby. Does that mean I can be a passport bro now? It's like, total joke. So I found it. Actually, not too bad. I think we're good.
Okay, I left.
Oh, can I stop here? Oh, that's cool. Oh, hold on.
You may use handheld devices
We made
such as
it.
mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers to
Okay,
receive
so that's cool.
You may also use personal headphones at this time. Like the items including laptops must be switched off and stored away safely. As a reminder, smoking is not permitted at any time while on board. Thank you.
Let me put the seatbelt on. And there's nobody next to me, so even better. I have no one next to me. No one next to me. So, hell yeah. It's not bad. Not bad at all. 10 out of 10.
Smoking devices is not permitted at any time whilst on board, including the toilets, which have smoke detectors in them.
Gerald, it's you. For too long I've kept my true feelings hidden, but now...
Personal devices should have the flight safe mode feature enabled now.
Handheld devices must be held securely or placed into a pocket.
What witchcraft is this? The painting.
Off and placed in your luggage for takeoff and landing.
Follow me, I like to get it poppin'. But these bitches and witness come me on you choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you will know me, keep it smiling. Bet you might be screaming, but I'm trying to keep it quiet. You know, honestly, I'm not always alone. But if you can keep it, then nobody knows you. I need you, get the fuck off my space. Placements on the way we do that. Pussies feel like a great escape. Didn't no drink, go up, no chance. Fucking I ain't making love no more. Look at that, you bitch, what the fuck you crying for? I'm moving so started on my favorite hoes. I'll reach me here now, none of this in my where's every night, we committed a crime. Where you belong, no sacred respect. Can't be outside, cause I'm not getting to cry. Never mind, you're right. Wherever you are, no
So, if you made it this far, I just want to say one, thank you, but two, once a nurse, always a nurse. So, right where you are in this video, how about I'm off the plane, I'm super excited, I'm enjoying these people. I get a call from my best friend saying we gotta go to the hospital. And I'm like, what? I go to the hospital for what? I just landed. My friend's mom had some medical emergencies, and I'm a nurse, so of course they're throwing out buzzwords, ECMO, this, that, intubations, all this stuff's happening. And as soon as I get off the airplane, I find out that my friend's mom, had medical complications, had to be rushed to the hospital. So that kind of changed the trajectory of my trip. It wasn't bad, but it just changed the trajectory of my trip. So what I had to say was, because I had good training, because I worked at good places, I was able to communicate with the doctors in the UK. Mine was my first time there. And I was able to communicate, translate for my friends, make sure that things are going the right way, because I do it at work anyway. But it was just kind of like serendipitous, because it felt like I was meant to be here, and this was meant to be my good deed, during my time in the UK. So I did get to see Big Ben. I did get to see the eye, and then I kind of just kept it chill, because mainly our focus became making sure my friend's mom, got over this hump, which ultimately she did. But when I tell you, if I didn't have the training, the time that I put in, I don't think I would have been able to handle that. I feel like it would have been so overwhelming, so just blindsided, that I would have just been stuck. Mind you, I paid money to be here. I had to go to LA, Atlanta, DC, UK, and then Philly, all in 2 weeks. So if this would have happened and I wasn't prepared, like I've been telling y'all, put your time in, then I'd have been done. So anyway, the rest of the video is kind of going to be cut short, but I just wanted y'all to know that I appreciate you for watching, and yeah, until next time.
What you looking at? London, baby. You got Dre here. You know I had to see the bus.
We ain't making love no more. You talk that talk, but he don't match your will. So strong with it, baby.
Hey, mate. I know the video.
The heck?
Bitches in my business got me out to choosing right. See me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. And your mind is screaming, but I'm sure I keep it quiet. Man, I ski down the lowest of the lowest. But it means we can keep it, and nobody knows shit. Man, I ski down the lowest of the lowest. But it means we can keep it, and nobody knows keep it sweating. Let your mommy scream, but shut up, keep it quiet. Even though I'm ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows you. Even though I'm ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows you. I need to talk confidential private. Don't want no thinking I'm a robot. I'm so serious that we on the first class, man. Work my nerves, you know I get bored. Fuck you, we ain't making love no more. You talk that talk, but he don't match your wit. So strong with it, baby. Whatever you need, don't call me. Bitches in my business, got me out, you choosing money. You see me out in public, you don't know me.